Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the very last game of the Star Series American Qualifier. I'm compLexity. I'm going to be joined again by Rhyme Dota, all the way from the UK, joining me, brother, on crazy hours. Thank you so much. Here we are, man. It all comes down to this game here. Team NP are currently 1 point behind Digital Chaos, sitting at the top of this group. If they get this win here against compLexity, they will 2-0 them and get 3 points to rise above Digital Chaos and qualify for the LAN. If they fail to get that win, they will only tie with Digital Chaos, and we will have a tiebreaker. I do not know yet when the tiebreaker will be, and I do not know yet if it's a best of 1 or best of 3. Rhyme, I'm a poet, and I didn't know it. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, thank you. Well, you should
In a state of unknowing.
admire my many talents, please. Thank you. Here we are, man. It's an intense one. We saw compLexity fall a bit short in a draft that you felt, and I'll admit I felt was a stronger draft, a formidable draft, one we've seen succeed before. It fell short, though. MP, pull out the troll, pull out the fight, get the job done. Game 2, we're going to start with an Underlord, though. Whole different ballgame.
He's back.
He is
he
back.
He came back.
He is back.
He disappeared from the first phase, and he was made a return. And do not know if it is for better or for worse, but Cole, it's going to be Monkeys playing Underlord. Unless it's 4-position Underlord, in which case, well, we'll find out. Team NP get to decide what they want to pick. Could it be, well, Lone Druid's banned out, but then Slada's also banned out, which are favourite go-tos. They picked Invoker, and I think it was a Doom last time, but Ember has not been picked up, so it's all up in the air.
We're definitely going to be seeing something a bit different, I feel. Bold call, I know, but I'm just getting a hunch in my plums, if you will, that this is going to be something a bit different here. Look at that, right off the bat, Bane, Mirana.
What is that,
hero?
hero?
You see the Mirana follow-up here? Oh, it is on. MP.
They pulled
this out in just the last match. I believe I was casting with CC&C for that particular matchup. And I wish I could just recall off the top of my head what game it was they were playing it against, too. I want to say it was against Doo-Wop, but they did work. In that particular game, it was Rose on the Mirana, but it was pretty obvious that Mirana was something that MP were going to be shooting for at the time because it was already a hero that had been at the forefront of MP drafts, including the mid lane envy Mirana, and as we've already just seen recently, the Rose roaming Mirana was also very successful, and probably something compLexity are probably going to be in tune with here. They're going to prep. They get the Rubik. I was going to say they could even grab the Mirana themselves. compLexity, big advocates of getting that Mirana for someone like Z-Freak, but for now, they will move on for the Rubik instead.
Alright, so NP, last time they went for Centaur, and Centaur and Bane, their cores were Nakes and Quap. I am not sure if they want to do the same thing because Quap has her drawbacks against Rubiks and Underlords because roots and things like that. Although she is pretty good for the burst damage you need to kill Underlord because, while physical damage doesn't usually avail you, having a large amount of magical damage is usually the way to kill Underlord in the early game and the beginning of mid-game. But when he gets like pipes and all kinds of things, then there's pretty much nothing reliable to kill him. You just need everyone hitting him with pretty much everything. Everything's just kind of going at him, and the rest of his team's probably dead by then. So, but before that, you can probably kill him with a Quap or something like that. And they ban out the Lifestealer, who is very, very good at laning against Pillord.
Yes, indeed. And it had been a good owie pick for quite some time for NP there, so a formidable ban, if you will, and we'll have to see where NP kind of take it from here. Set up already, commitments to the MSS hero globally. The ban of the Mirana was obviously no surprise, as would have been an easy grab, and I would imagine at that point MP were, if they're not going to pick it up at the number 2, that they should anticipate they weren't going to get it at all. Instead, they go for another lady here, and Lena.
Bane Lena.
She gets her set up, ideally a hero that would need that kind of setup potential, and she gets it with the Bane.
Oh, the shut up man. He has come. He is ready. He is going to point at people.
Silencio.
And they're going to be quiet.
Yeah. Just like an absolute combo breaker to everything that MP were looking to, set up, whether it's a future Yule's Lena combo Laguna or a Bane, even ulti. Silencer's there to just say, shut up. Don't do that. Shut up.
compLexity's turn to pick.
And then they pick Slark.
And then they
Playing
get Slark,
Silencer
yeah.
against Slark,
Yeah, that's
playing Rubik
yeah.
against Slark, and playing
Yeah.
Underlord against Slark
He's
all
like,
are
you shut up.
horrifying endeavors.
Just bad. All right, well, the Slark obviously not going to be dealing with a lot of the troubles, as already mentioned here. And a more fighting kind of oriented lineup coming out from NP. No 5-mans here. So if compLexity again can kind of survive already from what feels like you know, what could be a fragile laning phase, get to the point where Underlord kind of bulks up quite a bit, round up behind him a bit, make a 5-man happen, it could be pretty good. But I don't know for certain yet, Rhyme. They haven't even committed to their cores as far as late game goes. So do we anticipate something that's going to be able to work around that kind of play style, or now revealing and showing us the Lena and now the Slark? Does that change things a bit?
NP, it's no doubt going to be Slark going safe lane. Centaur's probably going to be going off lane. I don't know if Lena's going to be going middle, but I'm not really a fan of mid Lena. The last time I saw it, I think it was Alliance, and they had the most farmed Lena in the world, and then he got hit by about 2 heroes for about 5 seconds in a team fight, and then he died, and then he brought back, and then he fought again, and then died. Not to say anything about the Lena skill, it was just he was playing a Lena, and there's only so much you can do. You can attach lots of items to it, but I think fundamentally it's like one of those heroes, like, not so much, it's like what Weaver used to be. You can get all the farm in the world, but in the end of the day, you're still playing a Weaver. That used to be a thing.
Yeah.
But
I've heard that expression.
It's probably going to be support Lena.
With insert any said hero here. You get all this farm and you feel so great, but at the end of the day, you're playing a Coddle. At the end of the day, you know, you're playing
Coddle is not limited
at the end of the
by
day,
farm.
you're playing a
Coddle is powerful no matter what.
Yeah, I mean,
well, he's annoying no matter what. He might not necessarily be powerful. But Luna picked from Cole, so I think for the most part, this compLexity draft is going to be about starting off the lanes pretty strong. Underlord gets a fast mech.
Yes.
Luna gets a fast, well, Helm of the Dawn, Dragon Lance.
Okay.
Then Manta. And then they just kind of run at buildings, and it's up to NP to try and stop them. Because Silencer, Rubik, these heroes aren't the most mobile things in the world. They're generally quite good for attaching themselves to a 5-man, and then you just kind of throw spells from the back of the cores that are hitting the buildings.
Well, NP needed to consider what they were going to want to get canceled to kind of rally behind all that. OD, a formidable band, great in the mid lane, and can kind of go with any sort of play style you want to bring in. And, you know, a cancel classic. But you have to get something now that's going to work with the push and not have to be, you know, haunted and fear the Slark game here. So I don't know what that is. I was going to get ready to move forward and say, you know, we always have the cancel Tinker, but these guys just want to finish the draft before a word can even be put out there. So we have a Tinker and an Alchemist. Another game, another Alchemist.
They knew exactly what they wanted, both teams. So main goal of the Tinker, he is going to sit behind the cores. There's going to be a Helm of the Dawn creep somewhere. So he's going to attach himself to the back of that, and he's going to be rocketing everyone who wants to defend. So for the most part, Cole are very, very dependent on this laning phase. If it goes poorly, Slark's going to kill everybody, and Alchemist is then going to profit off of the back of that Slark doing very well. But if compLexity get their early game going well, then Slark is not the best hero against 5-man, and NP have a lot of heroes that need to go in. They don't really have any heroes that are content just sitting back. They've got Acid Spray, they've got Lena, and that's the limit of their D-push.
What do you think about the Tinker Alchemist matchup? Because you're asking for compLexity to get a lot done in the early game. You know, Rubik, Silencer, these seem like heroes. It's like they're going to help to get a lot done in that lane that they're going to be committed to. So if they want to be winning the majority of the early game, that means that this Tinker is going to have to come out on top. I mean, do we have faith in the cancel Tinker that he's going to be able to take it to the NV?
I have faith in him.
You have faith?
I think individual skill-wise, in terms of just last hitting, I think Cancel's better at that.
Okay.
But I think that it's going to be about the Bane Lena constantly running at him, because you can see smoke already picked up, as you do on the Lena. And also, they have a Centaur who's going to be pretty hard to zone out. Starts with Poor Man's Shield. If both supports aren't there hitting him, then the Luna's going to get pressured quite a lot. So if Cole supports get forced to the bot lane, then that leaves a lot of room for SVG and Rose to, well, run at Cancel. And last game, Cancel didn't really get attacked that early on, but he can die like at level 1 or 2 just from the Lena stun. Because Tinker is not the best hero in the world at getting ganked.
Yeah. Definitely, it would either be Rose being in tune with the hero to kind of get that setup with the stun, or yeah, roaming around and hanging with what could be his bud SVG on those setups. If they get to a point when, let's say, Owie's not going to need some extra assistance, they could move around and really do a number onto complexity's early game. So we'll see if that's something they fall back on or not. MP dish out the early smoke movement here, and now kind of reside in complexity territory. They've been able to get down what looks like a couple of classic wards here. One to scout out the offlaner, already dropped one down, and then one nice deep one over here to see possibly any early laning movement. But not going to really warrant them any sort of early first blood, it would appear. So we'll see how the lanes do break up here for now. It seems like they're going to let Z-Freak kind of up to his own devices, or at least go to the off lane and hang with what looks like could be a Monkey's dual off lane.
Yeah, it's just going to be
free
Rubik realizing I don't think they can do very much to this bot lane. They're going to start off with the Bane and Lina here just to make sure the Luna doesn't get a very good start. They really want to give Centaur the 1v1 matchup. Yeah. Just to make sure that he has a really, really good start because, yeah, Centaur gets a fast blink. I don't think Cole will have that much counter initiation if he gets it really fast. Like, sure, they'll have silence, but once the stun's already gone out, it's pretty difficult.
This aggro setup is going to be a bit frustrating for NP. Moo has to just continue to wait, and already SVG is not going to be allowing the support staff to do a whole lot with the lane mitigation, or at least the equilibrium of the creeps. Yeah, he's been able to pull half at least. Better than nothing, at least, for complexity to be able to kind of get the wave closer. But this is Owie's lane now, and it's on complexity to kind of change things up, because that means that this top lane setup is just a battle of the big boys here. Centaur versus Underlord.
I think as complexity get more levels, they'll be more and more content to take this in a try. And I think both of these 1v1s favor complexity. I think I would want to be the, well, Pit Lord in this matchup far more than I want to be the Centaur. And also, well, Cancel now is getting run under his tower, but he's massively ahead in CS. Envy with 1-0 versus 6-6. And Cancel's also got a wave under his tower to farm, which means...
Z-Freak nearby too.
Yeah.
Remember,
this thing's going very well for Cancel.
Yeah, I mean, it was last game where Cancel almost got a little too far ahead of himself when he was playing the Alchemist and kind of handed over that kill to Envy early on. This time, obviously, looking to go for a better head start. And what is Complexity's last showing, of course, here in Star Series. Both these teams, potential last showing in the qualifier. But things still looking pretty nice as Owie's moving up the charts at CS. And you look at, Moo on the other side, and he only has 5 CS to his name.
Yeah, it's just... they need to help these 1v1s. I think they might just lose the early to mid game just on the back of these 1v1 matchups. Like, they need to move the Bane Lina around, but they're basically paralyzed by doing this aggressive tri lane. Because if they leave the Slark alone here, he's not going to be able to do anything. So, they need to get a lot out of this, like, try, but I think what they're going to end up with is a Slark who doesn't have the most farm in the world, and they're going to be playing against a Tinker and a Pit Lord both with free farm. I'm just really not liking this decision to go aggro try, but maybe they know better than I. But
Z-Freak rolling in, looking to make the move. It's a telekinesis, pull up and back. SVG turns around for the sleep, but eats a wealth of damage and is going to get taken down from Melons. Going to be happy to claim the first early bit of intel. Rose is going to be going down too, it looks like. A double kill for Cole. You forecasted the trouble that could be coming the way of NP, and man, Complexity show it there and now. There's the quick rotation back, and at that same moment, Complexity also get the other kill. It's Monkey's able to get the solo takedown onto MSS, and we don't stop there. Owie. Well, looks like he's able to get away from that curse, but suddenly Complexity from across the globe here just turn it up, take advantage.
Yeah, this is really brutal. Like, Centaur's probably even getting solo killed, still doing better than the Alchemist. And now Centaur's TPing up there. Slark's going to try and farm top along with Alina. So they make the lane swap, but I think they're making this move far too late. They're already... the Tinker's got such a huge lead from being left completely alone without any intervention from the MP supports. Like, he's sitting 22-14 versus 6-0. This is some of the hardest I've seen to lose a lane in a long time.
Though. They might be able to at least get the grab on the Moo to try to get something back. With MSS rotating over, it was a setup with a sleep and a stun. Can they finish their plate, though? Moo eats right through the tree. Oh, he stops for a moment to get out the Lucid Beam. Is it going to be worth it? It is. They get the takedown of the Bane. MSS will stop, though, for Swindles and just off his head and get the takedown in the bottom lane. MP get their response. It's not the takedown they wanted. Looking to set out for Moo. compLexity making the
Monkeys
most
is
of the
under attack.
situation. Gets pounced upon, trying to go in for Rose. Rose turns the corner a bit, but Monkey's obviously tanky enough to kind of shrug off that problem and walk away.
I'm just working like this does look like a pretty good Tinker game. Like last pick Tinker against like Slark is probably the only hero you really have to worry about. The rest of them are just tanky heroes. Like Centaur when he gets a blink maybe, but Tinker's got a pretty good line to having decently early boost of travel. He's going Sol Ring first because he's gone the March build, and he's probably going to be farming his jungle. You see already he's got the Illusion Rune, and he's stacking both camps for himself. He's being very, very, very efficient. Monkeys is probably going to have to TP out, but I think Cole are doing very well, if not amazingly well in this early game.
Forgive me for a moment as I went to a showcase view during a pause, just, put something on the screen. It crashed the game, so
which showcase did you use?
I was looking at Moo, who is the Luna, and the reason we had this disconnect and this pause. So I was gonna let's showcase Moo for that, and I was punished by Valve. They took down my Dota.
People seem to be having a lot of problems with that lately.
So let me get myself back into this game here. Sorry about the delay. I assume we have it unpaused, have we? Or have we?
No, we're about to unpause. We've got the G's being dropped in the chat. So.
Okay, looks like I may have made it just in perfect timing here. Let me switch that button, hit this thing up, and it looks like we're ready to go. They were just waiting for me. This is perfect. Let's get back into action now, folks. Just 4-2, very early game number 2. If you're just tuning in, MP already took down compLexity in game number 1, so they are now officially tied with Digital Chaos. They need this win, though, to beat out Digital Chaos and qualify at the LAN. Otherwise, they're going to be facing into a tiebreaker, which is still going to be TBD on the date and format. But obviously, MP would love to take the easy express trip, getting the win here against Cole. Well, we'll have to see if they can do it. Not the best start for them. It's been a bit of a struggle. They committed in the bottom lane for a tri-lane to kind of have some early success there for Owie, but just based on the matchups ahead across all the lanes, compLexity had the better go-ahead, and now they're taking a total advantage of it.
Well, Cancel was very, very efficient, but then he missed both stacks. So it was a nice effort. It was a token effort, and we appreciate it, but it didn't quite work out.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Although Z-Freak did immediately follow that with a Ancients pull onto the wave, so Envy is a little bit poorer than he was.
The classic move.
Relative to where he should be.
Everyone's new favorite Rubik tactic, of course. Z-Freak is still trying to get his level 3. He'd been a wanderer here, if you will, for quite a while. Not too many early setups for him to kind of take advantage of, but...
it's the basic scenario of the support that was in the try-v-try.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really getting a lot of the stuff from the pulls, because Silencer was profiting a lot from these fights. As you see, he's level 4. He's sitting on par with the NP supports who have kind of benefited from moving around a lot, but it's a question of, can the slightly more farmed supports of NP make up for the fact that their cores are lagging behind somewhat?
Yeah, they made that change up, and we'll just have to see if they're going to be able to get anything from it, even though it was kind of a late audible call here. MSS flirts around the bottom lane a bit. Doesn't look like he's going to be pushing towards any sort of fast-timed Blink Dagger. It looks like he's got scope on for at least a hood for now. Is he going to just go straight into a pipe, you think, or is it just a trusty hood and then more value into getting the Blink Dagger and having the initiation?
I think at this point you probably still want to go for a hood, because a hood is very invaluable in this game. They do need a hero that can fight around. Because I think the main source of initiation is still going to be stomping after a center ulti. But yeah, he's getting ran at.
Yeah, he got
Smoke coming around from Melons.
A lot of hard damage, but hey, MP looked to sweep in from behind and punish him for it. MSS comes back with a vengeance, crushes down onto Moo, makes him pay. But here goes Swindle. He gets off a 3-man curse. He's scaring back the rest of NP, but they're satisfied. There was a Dark Rift coming in, forcing out a rotation. They already got what they wanted in that Precious Luna takedown. They'll walk away with that. Good counterplay coming out from MP.
Yep, that was a good move. They set Luna a bit far behind now. His Hamilton has been delayed, so it means he has to stay in lane a little bit longer. And now he's pinging out the lane because Monkeys is spamming out with Firestorm. Oh dear.
Just one of those
Moo will farm what's left of the lane.
Yeah, it's like he's like, well, I'm here. I got to get something for my trouble, and obviously a bit of bitter feelings about it, but so it's okay because Monkeys has already found himself back at top lane to continue his farm progress and really being that big badass he wants to become here. The timings still need to work out for Cole. They've been able to find Z-Freak at least a nice little safe spot. We last tuned into him. He was trying to get to level 3. Now look at him. He's about halfway to level 6. Obviously, this man has shown in plenty of cases how once he gets a hold of his spell steal, he can put it to good work. Just go ahead and do yourself a favor and YouTube Z-Freak Rubik, and you'll find some pretty sick plays. The man plays World of Warcraft there, Rhyme, so he knows how to, spellcast some shit.
Yeah, he's pretty good at Rubik. I play with him when he does it. You can kind of rely on him to kill pretty much everybody if he gets left alone. But
Any particular thing you think he's going to really try to, horn in on? Is it going for the easy grab of the Bane ulti? Is it Centaur Stampede? What is?
for the most part, I would just go for like lean and nukes.
Oh.
Those seem to be the most thing because they still lack burst damage outside of the Tinker. So if they're fighting with that Tinker, then they need that burst, and I think it would just be handy. And it's the most reliable thing to steal.
Oh, for sure. Even that LSA.
Apart from like Fiend's Grip, but he's probably going to be fairly careful with that.
He gets like that free personal Yules with the telekinesis into an LSA setup. That would be wonderful. So you're right. Lots of a plethora of wonderful options out there for him to take up. He could find himself crossing paths with Owie here soon. Owie sees the trouble, quickly pounces up and away, and will be safely nooked under his tower. MP have been able to kind of duck and dodge here a bit and trying to recover in what was a little bit of a wonky start. Saw Cole. We're in the pretty good early game position as far as net worth goes, but since then, MP have been recovering in the farm department. So it looks like MP are going to be making a fight happen. Almost level 6. SVG could be waiting out for that bit of XP. It looks like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's just the Cole are just waiting. They're happy to farm with their Tinker. They're getting what they can with the Luna on bot lane. After that gank, he's set a bit far behind. But it's really just the Tinker versus the Alchemist now. So Alchemist is now going to be going for his Radiance. He's starting his quest off. He goes for Treads. Envy's a big fan of just going for Treads because he likes feeling tanky and it accelerates his farm up to that point. And then he quickly buys Boots of Travel afterwards. So it really doesn't make too much difference in terms of timing, but it just makes you a little bit more confident in that period where you don't have the Radiance. So, yeah, Cole, another smoke gank coming. No, it's Invis on the Bane going for Moo.
About to be 11-minute Boots of Travel as well coming online. So Tinker can participate here moving forward in such setups like this one if given the time, but it may not have the time. Dark Rift is coming out. There goes the Global. And here comes Cancel and company. Are they going to be able to get a hold of MSS? No, he dishes out the Stampede and he pieces the hell out. SVG, who's nearby, is going to be able to hide out under the TP. compLexity are here and now. Are they going to just use this as a push? It looks like they will. Time to go for a tier 1.
Yep, this is the downtime where MP can't fight. They don't have Slack Shadowblade, they don't have Alchemist Radiance. Centaur still no help, no hood. So they have to kind of concede the tier 1s here. They're going to trade and get what they can, but yeah, they do not feel comfortable fighting at this point. And I think compLexity will take 2 towers in this time.
And it looks like you may be right. Bold prediction. compLexity. Just slowly begin to crumble it down here. MP quickly realizing that there is a serious power spike here for compLexity, and they may not be in fighting shape here. They could quickly find themselves in tiebreaker territory if this continues to go this way. Owie is frantically trying to pick up the pace of the farm a bit. Looking to go for, of course, that traditional Shadowblade pickup in hopes that maybe you can get some sweet silencer pickoffs or getting rid of some backliners, catching out Tinkers. But now with, obviously, you can see the Boots of Travel coming online, it's going to be tricky to find some, all of the wonderful farming options.
Yep, now they're facing a little problem where they have the Slark and the Alchemist stuck in their own jungle for the most part. So they're competing with each other for farm, whereas compLexity, well, for now they're going to be taking every single tower because they're capitalizing on this moment where MP are very, very weak. But they will have access to a far more safe farming areas, or a plethora of farming abilities,
Looks like
But
compLexity.
for now, they're going to cut the wave.
Yeah, they're feeling themselves, so they're like, let's just keep the party going down mid lane. Trying to change things up here. Owie, as mentioned, cutting the wave from behind, forcing Cole to deal with delays here. And it's enough of a delay for them to maybe change course and just try to put attention elsewhere, it seems like. Yep. They'll deal with MSS pushes in the bottom lane and just kind of go elsewhere for now. So MP have earned themselves a bit of extra time, but yeah, I don't know. Do they need to start looking for those pickoffs, scrappy fights? I don't know where you get the big comeback play for MP.
They have the ability to get pickoffs now because Cole are in the moment where they've taken the towers, they've got the objectives they wanted for this early game, and now they're like, okay, we need to just farm the map now because they're going, okay, they've been farming this whole time while we're pushing the towers, and we need to catch up to that. So at this point, this is the point where you can catch Cole out. So they're going to be sitting with the Slark in the center on this hill. Tinker's going to have to be very, very careful, and he'll TP out, but for the most part, as long as Cole don't get caught here, it should be okay.
They've just casually catch out Rose, who's wandering into the lane. I may have missed the start of that one, but it looked like he just floated right in front of a stampede of Cole members.
Oh, Z-Freak, no.
Just got taken apart. Z-Freak, who is a lone ranger here in the bottom lane, steals the stampede and says, see you later, nerds. Runs right out through the bottom of the river, and he's going to be fine. Diverts a lot of attention from MP towards the bottom lane as Cole take the second Tier 2 now in the middle lane. They're just one more Tier 2 away from moving on to Shrines and really taking a huge economy lead. Look at this. Already the net worth right back on the up and up for Cole.
Yeah, him surviving has to be some combination of mistakes from MP and him stealing the right spot at the right time. So, well played by him. MP are going to be slightly unhappy about that. And Cole are going to take this opportunity to take the Tier 2 top. And then it's, well, it's Shrine time. I think now it's just going to get harder and harder to fight because Tinker's got his Blink Dagger now. Envy's about to get his Radiance. He'll have that in 1 or 2 minutes. But
I mean,
yeah, they just have no map control at this point. Like they got the wards all along this river, but once those run out, ooh.
We saw it cancels Alchemist last game. He wasn't even able to get to this kind of position at this point in the game in terms of net worth. But I would still even, you know, in a typical Alchemist game, you see the Alch even farther ahead than this period. But it's still, as fast as we know Alchemist farming, this is still just too early for him right now to kind of deal with. As compLexity are just coming in through the door. MP are not ready. They haven't put out the plates. They haven't put out the nice furnishings. God. Rose can't even just get a say in the matter. He just gets blasted in the face with rockets and nukes. And he goes down. MP, your turf is getting invaded right now, and they just roll right over SVG. This house is now our house. MP will not be able to be the bouncer on this one, it looks like. Envy's trying to get close, but he has really no way of getting inside without that assistance of the Stampede or anyone to set anything up, so they can't defend anything right now. And Cole will just be able to just start shredding down these racks. Digital Chaos watching on the sidelines, getting ready to warm up because a tiebreaker may be in store for him here. Here goes the Stampede, they're running on in, but the Dark Rift is out. There goes the Laguna, but they're gone. See you later. Woo! And they get the deny. Bottom lane 2 as a cherry on top. How good for compLexity. How good should they feel right now? They just rolled on in with really not too much trouble, took a Rex, and walked away about 16 minutes into this game.
If they catch Envy here, which they'll find him, but I don't think they can kill him. Oh, they have the blink on Z-Freak, actually.
Okay, nice quick pickup from all that sweet money that's been coming in.
Should be okay.
The supports are going to be just loaded down here. I mean, you're talking Tier 2s, now Shrines, Racks just give you a seriously pretty penny.
Yeah, it's just, right now, NP do not have enough defense. Like you saw, Rose was trying to run in and use his nukes, but he just dies to Tinker. And then the Acid Spray and the Radiance are their other alternatives to depushing, but it's just not enough. And Cole have got enough tanky heroes, like the Underlord's just sitting there with his mech and Helm of the Dom, and they've got these Helm of the Dom creeps, and they've just got enough catch that you can't really go and depush. Like, anyone is liable to get lifted. The Slark dies very, very quickly. They've got like 1,000 damage in nukes. And the only person who can really survive getting caught for more than a few seconds is the Centaur with the Hood or Alchemist with ulti. And now the Shrines are going down, and I don't think there's really anything, apart from maybe Roche, that Cole will go for before pushing.
That would feel like the safe play to do, and that is what they do. So now MP are forced to wait. MP are about to just This is the exact same turnout we saw Digital Chaos go through. 2-0, everybody along the way with the exception of compLexity, where you happen to 1-1. And now they find themselves with the same point total if compLexity does get this win. MP, the cards are going to be stacked against them, but we'll have to see if they can change it.
Do you think anyone has ever cheered for Pitlord and Tinker and Luna pushing high ground 15 minutes more than DC are right now?
Oh no, they're just here like, okay, this is it. Thank you, Swindle God.
Because compLexity are, well, they're showing up for their friends. Or not friends, or acquaintances, or whatever they may be.
Yeah.
They are going up to the high ground now. Rose stands as guardian of the high ground, but I do not feel that it will be quite enough.
Now rolling in though, Envy, the one going to be caught and rooted up first. May need some assistance here, going to get slapped, pull on back, no buyback at all, and that's it. Your Alchemist is going to be taken out of this one for 40 seconds without anything to do. It's all on Owie, who is, you know, cutting the wave, hanging back in behind. But there's already a Cole army indoors, baby. Jump in 4-man. Stomp comes out from MSS, the Laguna from Rose, and Monkeys will just take an earn for his troubles, it looks like. He's going to hold on and be fine. Cole are taking the second set of racks. Cole are going to be taking the second game. And they, even though are mathematically out of this qualifier, and this game, this series, doesn't matter to them in Star Series, they have just upset MP and their fans and forced out what looks like a tiebreaker situation.
Well, this is going to be a great result for schedulers everywhere.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see. I'll probably talk more about it at the conclusion of this game, but I have no idea when these tiebreakers are going to happen. Okay, though, this could be the final hurrah for MP. Envy looking to go in already. SVG going to get it blasted apart and taken it down. Envy flying in there is just going to get silenced up, rooted up, and he is just going to get fully taken advantage of. This one is done for. MP can't close it out. They can't get the free pass to Shanghai on this day. compLexity will be able to take at least one game, and that means that Digital Chaos and NP are tied up in this qualifier, and they will have to play it out in a tiebreaker to see which team qualifies. Normally it would be determined in a head-to-head, what the head-to-head was, but in their head-to-head, Rhyme, they went 1-1, so we can't go off that. So we'll have to see how it works out for now. But hey, we got to give props to compLexity. That game was theirs from start to finish.
They just had a very, very good laning stage.
Yeah.
The Tinker crushed Alk in the 1v1. The Pitlord got a solo kill, which I don't think should have happened, but either way, like, they drafted it quite well. I think MP made a mistake going for that aggro tri-lane. I think they needed their supports to be able to interfere more with the other lanes, especially middle. But I think they were just afraid of what happened if Luna got free farm and either one of the Rubik or Silencer got to pull freely. But in the end, that decision just completely came back to bite them. So yeah, it's a bit rough for them in the early game.
Obviously, interesting performance. Digital Chaos and their fans are going to be watching as they take this into account and prepare for what is going to be likely a tiebreaker matchup against NP. Props to compLexity. This will obviously conclude their Star Series run. They're going to get right back into playing Dota, though. If you're turning into a compLexity fan, you're already a compLexity fan, you're going to get to see them again very soon. DAC America Qualifiers start right up tomorrow. For some of you, it might be starting later today. But that tomorrow will be going right into some American Qualifier action, which compLexity is going to be featured in. And a qualifier which, you know, as they will be happy to know, a qualifier they can qualify for, in their words. But we're not done yet here for Star Series. It's MP and DC left at the top of the group stage. I will hang around for a little bit and see if the admin or the TO says anything about this tiebreaker, and I will try to put the information over. All I know for now is that there will be a tiebreaker. They said maybe tomorrow, but as I said, DAC is tomorrow, and they didn't say if it was a best of one or a best of three. So I'll hang around for a bit and find out. Rhyme, thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to cast with you. If you guys like the smooth, sultry sounds of Rhyme Dota, hit him up on his Twitter, @Rhyme Dota. It's just Rhyme Dota, right? Not Rhyme Dota 2?
No, it's Rhyme Dota.
Okay, Rhyme Dota, Rhyme Dota, Rhyme Dota. Go check it out. Thank you again, Rhyme. Everyone else, thank you for tuning in. I'll let you know, maybe small chance there could be a tiebreaker today. Cannot promise it, but I will cut to a break. When we come back, I'll try to fill you in with an update. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy your Dota, and get ready to enjoy some DAC qualifier action. Take care.
E-gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans.
Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match.
Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Hey guys, okay, let me give you the update here. I just asked in the chat to see if I could find out any information about this tiebreaker, and this is the word. Looks like tiebreaker. Okay, tiebreaker is scheduled for tomorrow at 1700 EST. That would be 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern, which is also what, 2 p.m. Okay, so that is kind of in the middle of DAC, I believe. But it should, they said here, it should be a best of one match. But if teams agree, we're going to change it for, okay, well, a best of three. So we'll have to see. Apparently the details are still going to be hashed out, but that might be all I can tell you for now. It seems like there will not be a tiebreaker today. So don't count on any tiebreaker today. Likely to be tomorrow. I am a bit suspect on when it's going to happen. We have to remember that DAC qualifiers start tomorrow, if you're in the States, at about 1 p.m. Pacific or 4 p.m. Eastern. And they're looking to try to get this tiebreaker done like right after that. So I would say just keep an eye on the Twitter, keep an eye on the Beyond the Summit Twitter, as we'll continue to give you the information and keep you up to speed. So that's going to wrap things up for today, guys. We leave you at that. It's a tie. It's a tie between Team NP and Digital Chaos. They're going to have to square off, go head-to-head in either a best of one or best of three, and the winner will get to qualify and go to the LAN, okay? That's where we're going to wrap things up. I'll be back casting tomorrow. I'm going to go right into DAC American Qualifiers. It's going to be myself, Kyle Guy. I'm going to be joined by Lacoste. It's going to be an awesome time. I'm looking forward to it, okay, guys? Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day.